Welcome to the country, where we do country things. And on today's video, we've got a bit of an issue down here with our breeder buck. This is Buckshot. And what you're looking at here in the grass is some blood where he has been injured. And I'm going to try to show it to you guys here real quick. I'm not really sure exactly what happened. I had some errands to run this morning in town, and I just got down here to feed the deer. It's about 11 o'clock in the morning, and I noticed that he had broken off one of his G2s. It's going to be the one there on his right side. It has a lot of blood on his antler and kind of dripping down on his shoulder and stuff. And I found these spots of blood where apparently he had laid down at some point and was bleeding pretty badly. There's a few spots like this laying around in other places. I've looked all over the pen. I cannot find his tine that he did break off anywhere laying in the pen. I'll keep looking for it, but I wanted to show you this real quick. Just kind of give you an update on what's going on with the deer, and especially here with Buckshot on this injury. So I've got him standing right here with some leaves so I can kind of get him to position where I want. And it looks like he's still bleeding there a little bit. I can zoom in on it. He's actually dripping blood on Diamond there. And there is the G2. You can see obviously missing the entire G2. And there's a little bit of blood and stuff on his back where apparently he's been shaking his head. And it's still dripping a little bit. So this happened not too long ago. It looks like the blood is actually coming from the G3 where he has scraped the entire velvet off of that side of the G3 there. So I know it looks really bad, but those antlers are full of blood, and any kind of little nick or anything is going to cause a lot of bleeding on those things. I did have a couple of stray dogs that showed up on the property next door where we have the garden and stuff, and it's possible that those two stray dogs were over here at some point and ran him into the fence, and I believe that's probably what happened. That's an issue you have anytime you have these animals pinned up in a confined space where you get stray dogs, or you may get coyotes or something like that, where they get spooked into the fence. We've had injuries in the past, especially with Speck last year, and then again this year early on, and now here with Buckshot. It seems like something has got him into the fence, and we've lost the G2 there on the right side of his antler, which is really not a big deal. If this buck was being sold, it would be an issue to break the antlers off, especially this late. But he's getting ready to shed his velvet probably in the next couple of weeks anyway. And he's going to be with us again this year, so it's not really something that we're too concerned about. But we want to monitor that bleeding and make sure that it actually stops here at some point. But it doesn't look like it's too awfully bad. I've seen a lot worse with Speck, and he came through it just fine. And I think that the antlers are to the point now where he's probably not going to suffer any permanent injury for sure. I would like to find this tine wherever it's laying, but I've searched the whole entire pen and the perimeter, and I've not been able to find it. So I don't know if it's just in the tall grass and I can't see it or what's going on, but I'll keep looking for that thing, see if I can't find it, and I'll show it to you guys if I do find it. So Anyway, while we're down here, we're going to go ahead and do an update on Speck, and we'll do an update on Bow, and we'll do an update on Big Shot. We'll just do an update on all of them, but I wanted to start right here with Big Shot, or Buckshot. He's lost his G2 there on the right side. He seems to be, you know, doing okay. He's drinking, as you can see. He's eating leaves, he's eating feed, he's not bleeding like profusely, like it's just running. So I think it should stop bleeding here in the next hour or two, maybe. I'll just kind of monitor it and make sure. If worse comes to worse, we'll just have to get a dart and dart him and knock him down and try to stop that bleeding in some way, but I don't think right now it's going to be necessary. So we'll just monitor him and make sure he does okay with this, and hopefully he stops bleeding here pretty soon, and we won't have to do anything or intervene in any way. So let me get around him here real quick and take a look at Big Shot and his yearling son, since we're down there. So I checked these guys out, and they seem to be just fine. They don't have any kind of injuries, or nothing seems to have happened to them in any way. I believe these guys have just about finished out. Zoom in there on him. They seem to be doing good. He's not going to finish out, or not going to put the points on that I was hoping on the ends. It don't look like right now. We're getting really late in the growing season. Today's August the 17th, and he should be pretty well done with his growing. It's hard to tell from this distance, but he tried to put a 5th point out there on the left. He tried to put a drop tine on the left. He tried to put a drop tine on the right on the end as well. So we're probably going to end up having to call him a 4x4. Just kind of depends on how long those tines actually get before he sheds his velvet. I'd like to call him a 5x5 really, but you know, you kind of stretching it with no longer than those points are. I counted the other day, and he's going to be close to up to having 20 points altogether if he kind of finished out the way I thought he was going to, but it just looks like he's going to wind up being a little bit short of what I was hoping. Now his yearling son here hasn't grown a whole lot. He still has that 4x5 main frame. Hold up, buddy, let's get a look at you. There you go. I know. You're okay. So anyway, there's an update on those two guys. They have come out of this unhurt or uninjured, or whatever happened to Buckshot over there. They don't seem to have any type of effects to it. I really honestly think that we probably had those two stray dogs on the neighbor's property there. And kind of the way this lays out is the neighbors have a big pasture here, but we have a barrier between them and the deer fence that has field fence or goat fence on it, where nothing can kind of get through, like dogs and stuff can't get through that barrier. And I believe maybe those dogs were running this fence back here on the west and actually had him spooked into the fence somehow and knocked that G2 off somewhere. not really sure. I wasn't here to catch it, so I don't really know. I just know that I did catch the dogs on our property next door. We did find their owners, and they are back where they're supposed to be. Now obviously this is just me trying to guess what's happened to him. It's just not a coincidence to me that the two dogs show up and we have an injury to a deer. That's, to me, that's not a coincidence. That stuff just don't add up. But I'm gonna walk up the alleyway here into Bo's pen. Speck is in the house there, in the feed house apparently, but he hasn't changed any either. He's finished out his antlers and just waiting on him to kind of get ready to shed his velvet as well. Talking to a few guys who may be interested in actually buying him, but we don't officially have him sold yet. Getting closer every day to our new breeder buck coming in. As soon as these guys get out of velvet where we can move them, and he can be moved here. It's kind of just all we're waiting on. We didn't make the trip this weekend to up there to go see him. Now we may hold off and go this next coming week. Haven't decided yet, but so there's Nina and one of her buck fawns in the building. And what I want to do is just kind of go real easy here and let that fawn get around me where he don't spook and hit the fence or something. So we'll just go real easy. And I know Bo's laying in the building there. I seen him a while ago. Haven't been down here to see him yet this morning, so I don't know what his antlers are looking like or anything's changed since yesterday. Hey, little buddy. Just let him go around. Perfect. And the older those fawns get, the more tame they'll get, and they'll calm down. They'll be a little bit more tame. Hi, baby. Hey, buddy. There he is. Hey, big man. Come out here so I can see you. Come on, dude. You looking the same? Let me back this out a little bit, get you guys a little close. Hey, buddy. So yeah, he's looking like he hasn't changed much since the other day. He does have a little bit hanging there. He doesn't want me to grab it. There's a piece come off. There you go. So what's he going to want to do? He's going to want to eat this velvet. Now, typically, and you'll see whenever I do the video when he does come out of his velvet, if they will, the bucks eat this velvet whenever they strip it off as much as they can. Hi, Nina Boo. So what we'll do is I'll just give it to him here. And I don't really understand why they eat it. I just know that every time I see them when they strip the velvet off, they like to eat the velvet back. So don't know really the reason behind that, but that's just what they do. Looks like here he's pretty much looks the same as the video we did last week on him. He hasn't changed a whole lot. Kind of been slow. I know last year he shed his velvet out on the 18th of August. So today's the 17th, so he's got to be getting real close, and it looks like he's getting real close. But we'll try to catch that on video for you guys as soon as he does that. Should be hopefully within the next 3 or 4 days he'll get that done, and we'll bring that to you. So anyway, there's a little bit of a buck update. An injury today on the farm. I don't believe it's life-threatening or anything, but it's just a shame that he broke that off. And hopefully I can find it, and if I can, we'll probably be able to go ahead and strip the velvet off of it, clean it up, and we'll probably be able to glue it back on if I can actually find it. So I appreciate you guys watching, and we'll be back. Okay guys, before we end the video here, I just wanted to give you guys a look at Speck real quick. He come out of the shed there, and I threw him a little bit of a branch, and just wanted to show you guys how he finished out. He didn't quite make the 7 there on the left on his main beam, but just a little bit of a bubble there, so he didn't quite make it. He ended up being a really nice buck, even though he had that injury, and he has that double main beam on that side. That one tine is really long. That one, the bottom main beam is really turned out and really grew long. I'm not really sure what he's exactly going to score. I'm figuring probably in the high 160s, maybe 170, hopefully. We'll just have to see whenever he gets his velvet shed off and we actually get him knocked down and get a chance to officially score him. But there's a look at Speck. It looks like he's starting to come out of his summer red and starting to go gray, just kind of like Bo is, and Buckshot's doing the same thing. He's looking like he's going to go gray here pretty soon. That's kind of another sign that you know where they're going to shed their velvet pretty quickly, is when they start coming out of that summer red and going to gray. So anyway, I thought I'd go ahead and give you a look at him. Probably for the last time in velvet. We'll be back with him whenever he sheds that velvet off. I'll try to get a video of him actually shedding that velvet, but I don't know that I can do that, but we'll try. Anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll be back.